What's up, YouTube? Thanks for watching Bold for Christ. I hope you all are enjoying your day. I hope you're ready to tackle our first topic today. I want to thank you all for tuning in to my intro video. Pretty sick nasty seeing you guys tune in. Your appreciation for that. Followings on Instagram, subscribers, all of that. Keep getting the word out about Bold for Christ. I want this YouTube ministry outreach just be a tool that so many people use to get a perspective that they haven't heard on these things before. So thanks, y'all. So today I want to talk about the question, is it okay for Christians to party? I'll go ahead and give you my straight face, black and white answer afterwards, but I'm gonna kind of go through my experience with parties and why I used to do it. Yeah, in high school I actually never partied. I was way too busy playing sports. I was busy doing stuff like that. My friends really didn't party, so that's not something we did. Going to a public high school, I very much knew that that's what the cool kids did. Cool kids. I got invited to a few parties in high school, but I never went. At that point in time, I was accountable to the house I was living in. I was accountable to my parents. I got invited to parties and be like, nah, I don't think my parents would be okay with that. But the second I shipped off to college, I wasn't accountable to my parents anymore. I didn't have any legitimate accountability to God. So even a small, private Christian school, I found ways to drink, to go to parties, and to do these things every single weekend. So in the moment, I thought it was pretty fun. We'd go tipsy bowling, we'd go to different people's apartments to drink in our dorms, we'd show up to school events drunk, we'd go to other colleges, attend fraternity parties, and all that stuff. And I will say, in the moment, I thought it was pretty darn fun. But after the fact, it gets old news real quick. The fact that you're just going out and drinking a ridiculous amount of liquor to have fun, you can have fun doing all sorts of other stuff. It depends on your personality type, what you like having fun with. I love playing sports. I love doing competitive things. I love doing things where they're just adrenaline rushing, adrenaline thrilling that other people don't really like. We were in South Carolina, and I jumped in a lagoon only because I knew there were alligators in the lagoon. Yeah, some of you guys are sitting there like, wow, James, what's wrong with you? I don't know, I thought it was fun. It was adrenaline thrilling. It's a memory that I gotta keep forever. It's something I have on film. Speaking of... Come on! I love attention. I went on stage with one of my buddies from college at a karaoke night where pretty much the entire school was attending. So it was well over 1,000, maybe 2,000 students there. We sang Taylor Swift on stage. The only reason we wanted to is because we thought it'd be fun and adrenaline thrilling to embarrass ourselves in front of 2,000 people. It was awesome. I have video of that too. Yeah, when it comes to partying, as a Christian, I'd highly suggest not attending parties. What's the basis of the activity you're going to? If I text a bunch of my buddies and I say, hey, let's play basketball, the basis of the activity is to go play basketball. If I text a bunch of friends and say, hey, let's meet up at the arcade, we're gonna go bowling, we're gonna play arcade games, we're gonna go play laser tag. That's what's there. When you text someone and say, hey, do you want to go party? Well, shoot, what is surrounded around partying? Well, drinking alcohol, drinking a lot of alcohol, drinking too much alcohol, getting drunk on alcohol, or you're dancing on girls, and vice versa for girls. If you're going to drink, going to dance with a guy, going to get attention, that's not something we're called to do as Christians. Just because you're not drinking doesn't mean that being at that event is a good thing. Who you associate yourself with and the situations that you put yourself in, is it safe? Is it smart? Is it glorifying to God, the situation you're in? Absolutely not. That's probably something you shouldn't do as a young Christian woman. It's probably not something you should do as a young Christian man. If partying is the only social event where you feel cool or you feel included, you're probably hanging out with the wrong people. So, in Proverbs 22, verses 24 and 25, it says, don't befriend angry people or associate with hot-tempered people, or you will learn to be like them and endanger your soul. That lays it out for you right there in the verse. Another good passage from the Bible is from 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33, which states, don't be fooled by those who say such things, for bad company corrects good character. Who you associate with dictates who you become and how you act. I'll tell you that from first-person accounts. And you can see it in your own lives and in your other friends' lives. Who they hang out with and who they associate with, they almost become that person. Paul is very animate in 1 Corinthians chapter 5, where he says, I meant that you are not to associate with anyone who claims to be a believer, yet indulges in sexual sin, or is greedy, or worships idols, or is abusive, or is a drunkard, or cheats people. Don't eat with such people. It is my responsibility, or he said, it is not my responsibility to judge outsiders, but it certainly is your responsibility to judge those inside the church who are sinning. What that's saying is, when there's someone who's in the church who's associating in these types of activities, it's our job to call them out. It's our job to go to them and say, hey, if you're a Christian and you're doing these things, this is not something you should be doing. You should not be getting drunk. You should not be associating and going to parties. You should not be having premarital sex. It's our job to call them out when they're in the church. But it's also very specific in saying it is not our responsibility to judge outsiders. So when people don't know Christ, when people are not a Christian and they're going out and doing these things, and they don't know that they're doing something that's rebelling against God. They don't. And it's our job as a light to be there for them. But it's not our job to attend those activities with them. It's our job to be in the world but not of it. So we're in the world and we're in these people and we're to be a light to them. But it's not our job to partake in the activities that they partake in. I hope you guys can take something from this video, take something from my experience. It's not an experience I'm proud of, but it's an experience that God's given me the opportunity to share. It's from James chapter 5. He's talking about the power of prayer. We're going to go ahead and read from verse 16. Confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. The earnest prayer of a righteous person has great power and produces wonderful results. Always remember to choose joy. Happiness is far too cheap. Thanks for tuning to Bold for Christ. You all enjoy your day now.
Well, you lost your life so I could find it here. And if you let